The start was a transition from traditional community service where students show up at a location and pick up trash, or they are doing something simple and they show up for a designated period of time and then they leave. I did my job. The transition to service learning is taking a problem or an issue in the community and figuring out ways that they can, at a younger age, participate and help and promote that change. So in government class, we talk a lot about things going on in government, and then in the second half of the year with service learning, we challenge students to participate. And it's that civic participation in service learning, which is the lifelong lesson that they can kind of pull from being active in the community. I guess that would kind of be the transition 2 years ago. Students, they varied in where they went. I mean, outside the school, outside the community, inside the school. My students who worked with the Adaptive Guard, who worked with special needs students here at Milford High School to include them in their color guard routines and to promote the Adaptive Guard program around Cincinnati.
Seeing the child get to move around and how happy she was and how excited the physical therapist was that it was working was really rewarding. Just seeing the reactions that the child had with the physical therapist. That's the whole reason we started the project. I'm still feeling giddy about it.
So the Sim Villa project, there are 7 of us in our class, and we were each partnered with someone who lives at Sim Villa, and I actually was partnered with 2 people because they weren't sure they'd each be able to make it every week. And basically we just wanted to interview them and learn their life story and then take pictures and be able to tell that story through a series of photographs.
It's not the easiest thing to talk about, heroin addiction, but students at Milford High School are finding a way by using their talents. Students are all in a photojournalism class. The interviews and pictures are part of an exhibit called No Boundaries. Students wanted to take away the stigma from the subject and spark honest conversation. They also spoke with police and healthcare workers.
And what they learned is that this is a complex issue, and that it not only affects the people who are in addiction, but then also our community in general.
It wasn't just an exercise in photojournalism, taking pictures and documenting what they learned from their subjects, but the young people were also asked to come up with ideas for dealing with the heroin epidemic.
To come to an event like this, it gives you hope. This generation is going to be the generation that solves this and that fixes it. The insight they have, the humanization of it.
What started as an assignment for the students has given them and the community a deeper look into an epidemic plaguing our neighborhood.
I would say the biggest impact it's had kind of on my life is that, especially with No Boundaries, you never know what a person is going through. That's actually with both the projects we've done. You wouldn't guess some of the things that the residents there tell you about their past maybe, or what they're going through now. And then with the heroin epidemic, we talked to actually other students in our school who are affected by it, and I didn't know that before. So it kind of just makes me realize you have to be more sensitive when you're going out and you're meeting people. You have to be kind of open to learn and see new things and accept people for who they are.
Goggle Up is composed of all the hands-on service learning projects that we do related to science here at the junior high. The kids monitor the butterflies, raise the caterpillars. We had 450 kids signed up for Goggle Up this year. It's the first year that it's been around. And every single one of those kids got to go to the river at least once or sometimes twice throughout the year to monitor the water, so they all had experience doing that. And then they either used the data from the river, the data from the butterflies, or some other data that we gathered to put together a presentation a report. And some of the students actually got to present those presentations to an authentic audience like Little Miami Inc. at their annual banquet, where the students received an award for all the hard work that they've done protecting the Little Miami River.
So the river project, it was really just getting us to learn about microinvertebrates and how clean our river can, or how we keep our river clean and what we can do to help it keep it that way. It was a really good experience. We got to see just how many different organisms live in the river and how sensitive it can be.
Well, what we've learned in class, we could take outdoors and help the community from what we've learned by just doing simple things like cleaning and picking up trash and not littering, and like riding our bikes more often than cars if possible because of pollution.
The good thing about here at Milford High School is we have so many kids who are so involved in so many organizations that we do a lot of community service. And it was a way, service learning in the government classes is a way to challenge the students to not just show up and donate time, but to really research a problem and work to solve a problem. So, not saying community service is bad in any way, shape, or form, or that service learning is any better than that. It's just a different way for the students to kind of look at what they're doing and why they're doing it.